Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a set of 10 thank you cards to share with you. This idea comes directly from one of my Patreon members who specifically requested an idea for creating multiple cards, especially like thank you cards. And thank you cards are something I love to have on hand, and these would make a fantastic gift presentation if you are looking to maybe give some handmade gifts to those at Christmas time or during the holidays. And this set basically started with two main things from Mama Elephant. That is the new STRIALLOP diagonal. So you can see that's what I'm using here. There's also the STRIALLOP horizontal and the STRIALLOP vertical. I may not have those names exactly right. I will link to those in the description box down below because you could do the exact same kind of look with those. I was going to do those as well, but it would have required many more cards, and I just, for time's sake, I did not do that today. And the reason is the diagonal has, I think, 10 stripes, and so I opted to do 10 cards. That way I am using every bit except for the leftover colorful frames, which I can use for another project. I did throw those in my scrap drawer and I will use those again. So what I did with the STRIALLOP diagonal is I die cut the whole panel from white. Oh, I guess I did discard the white pieces from the center, so I didn't keep those. You could keep those and use them if you wanted to. You could ink them up and add them to a panel. So what I did was I die cut 10 of the frame, 10 different colors of cardstock, so I could create some really pretty rainbow backgrounds. Rainbow's always great. And then I am going to simply reassemble. So what I did was take 1/8 inch double-sided adhesive. I like the Lawn Fawn adhesive, and I placed it around my frame, placed that on a white top fold card base, and then I'm going to start creating my striped backgrounds. Now, something I found as I was going, there is a right and a wrong way that these frames fit, or these stripes, STRIALLOPs, fit in the frame. So I kind of skipped ahead there. You see how the stripes might be a little wet? I had to undo them. Undo is an adhesive remover. I highly recommend it. If you don't want to ruin your cardstock, I have used it since my scrapbooking days way back when, and I don't use it a ton, but it did come in handy here. I even had an error later on that required me kind of picking apart one of the panels. That one was not it, surprisingly enough, but anyway, it did come in handy. Now I'm going to repeat this for all of the cards. I am not going to bore you with creating them, all of them, all 10 of them. It did take a little bit of time. While it's a very easy project, it does require a little bit, it's a little bit time consuming, maybe is what I should say. I would suggest put on your favorite Christmas movie, turn on the Hallmark Channel Christmas movies, I don't care, a podcast, music, and just start creating. If you have everything die cut, you could kind of put it all in a tray. I've talked about this before. I keep these clear acrylic trays. I call them my project trays. And I kind of move them around. Like I put everything I think I'm going to use in the tray. And when I have time, I work on that project. And so this was something, I would put all of those pieces in a tray. I would go out to the living room or wherever and watch a movie and put them together. Obviously, I'm doing them in video format, but I will tell you, I did have a show up on my phone while I was doing these. So it made it go a little bit quicker because it is time consuming. My other big tip is to perhaps go in order. So I started with red up in the upper top corner. Whatever you decide your stripe pattern is, go with the next color the next time, then the next one, then the next one. That's going to ensure that you get the right pattern and are able to do all 10 cards. If you mix them up, you're not going to be able to get all 10 exactly like in that same order. Now, a little tip, I believe both the vertical and horizontal have less stripes than the diagonal. So I, of course, picked the one with the most, but I really did want a set of 10 cards. And so it made it work out really nicely. Imagine putting these in a gift box. Simon Says Stamp has some amazing gift boxes. I will link to those down below as well. So my suggestion would be to pop these in those clear plastic gift boxes, tie a pretty ribbon around it, add a cute little gift tag, and this makes a fantastic gift presentation. In fact, I'm going to do a video short for you guys where I do that. I probably will pop it up on Instagram, and then I will likely put it up here on YouTube as well, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. You could make fewer of these cards if maybe you want to stick to, let's say you do a red and green color combination. However many times you die cut your cardstock and then kind of repeat the pattern. So let's say you do red and green. You could make 2 cards and just alternate a red and green pattern and make a set of gift cards that say thank you for the gift. One of the sentiments really works great for that. So maybe you want to make a set of cards for thank yous for the holidays. I love the gift and love you even more. Obviously that works for any time of the year, but you could definitely switch up the colors to make it holiday themed. And it doesn't have to be red and green. That I just threw that out as an example. So I put the double-sided adhesive down. I did get smart and bend back my double-sided adhesive and didn't put it all the way down. So this is my little hack for this. If you bend it back on itself and then leave it sticking out, and it's actually sticking out all 4 sides, you just cannot see the other 3. They're down a little bit too low in the frame of my camera. That way I can adjust the frame if I need to as I'm working. We're almost done creating all these backgrounds. I just kind of wanted to show you that little hack of how I've left the adhesive in there. I hope I pull it out here on camera so you can see that. And then I'm going to show you all of the backgrounds, and then we're going to stamp and emboss our sentiments. So my goal here was to have these really beautiful striped backgrounds, and then we're going to have white embossed sentiments on top. And that was really what I was going to do. You could totally leave it there, you guys, and it would be an amazing card set. But you guys know me, and you know that I'm extra. And so I thought, why don't I add some pretty little vellum leaves and some little colorful flowers? That won't add any time to this project at all. Oh my gosh, you guys, it added so much time. But I have to tell you, it was totally worth it. I love the little addition of that. And even though I say it's extra, I do think that this still makes the card a little bit simple. Oh yes, I did pull out. So you see, I'm just pulling out my double-sided adhesive and it pops right out. This is a great hack if you're using double-sided adhesive like this for any kind of card. Okay, let's take a look at all 10 of the backgrounds before we start stamping and embossing all of the greetings. So again, this is the Mama Elephant STRIALLOP diagonal. There's the horizontal and vertical as well, so it gives you some different options. Those are all 3 separate dies and separate purchases. Now that I have my backgrounds, I'm going to take the brand new Mama Elephant Note of Thanks stamp set. And I love this stamp set. I am not using it kind of the way it's intended, I suppose. There's words that have fill-in stamps, so you could stamp different colors and fill that in if you're doing it on a white or even a light colored cardstock. I'm doing this on vellum, so I'm not going to be filling them in, but you totally could. There are 5 different sentiments. The only one I'm not using is Hi Friend, and that's just because it's small. And I felt like I needed something with a little more substance for the backgrounds of my card. That I am using just a little note to say thanks, I love the gift and I love you even more, a million thanks for being a great friend, and just wanted to say thank you. I think these all are very versatile greetings that can be used for anything. I love versatile greetings. Thank you cards are something I always need. And so this is a fantastic way to be able to create a bunch of thank yous all at once. You'll notice I stamped the top part of, or I stamped my greetings on the top part of the vellum. I'm going to heat emboss these. Then I'm simply going to flip the paper upside down and stamp these again before I have to fill in. So this is 4. When I stamp this twice, obviously I will have 8. I will need 2 more greetings. The way I picked my greetings was what fit in that extra space in between. Now, I was hoping I could get both of the extra greetings in that space in between. I'm only actually going to be able to fit 1 more. I did have to grab another scrap of vellum from my stash to stamp the last greeting. Even for that, I grabbed a scrap of vellum, so I picked one of these greetings that fit in that scrap, and only one of them fit. I think the smallest. I love the gift and I love you even more. So I was using up scraps here. Don't be afraid to do that. I always love being able to use up all those little bits and pieces. And I could have grabbed a bigger piece of vellum if I had wanted to, or if I'd wanted a certain sentiment more than once, but honestly, all of these are amazing. I do love the high friend. I don't want to say I don't love that. It's just small and it's going to work better on a different card design, I think. I think it would get lost in this. You just need something that has more to it, which all of these have a lot more to it. I also totally love the fonts for these. I think they are incredible. The script is beautiful and very legible. And then that outline font is so awesome. So I used A Million Thanks for Being a Great Friend as my extra. And believe it or not, I could get nothing to fit in this extra little spot. And I tried. I tried hard. But it didn't work, even if I turned it sideways. So we'll just save that little scrap. I actually think I maybe ended up cutting some of the vellum leaves from that leftover piece. No vellum goes to waste here. And just heat emboss. Now, the dies for these greetings are amazing. They really die cut. They die cut all the little open pieces. And now I'm showing you the rest of the pieces I die cut before I start assembling. Now, I am going to speed up the assembly just a bit because it is time consuming. But really quick, I want to talk about the remaining pieces. These are the leaves and flowers from the oval deco frame set. This is a set, I believe it's probably about a year old. I believe it came out a year ago in 2020. And I've used the frame, the larger frame. It has a large frame, it has an oval frame, and then it has the leaves and flowers. I think the only thing I've used from this so far is the rectangular frame. I don't even know why. I went through my Mama Elephant stash. There were 2 different options that had some flowers in them. Flower dies that didn't have coordinating stamps because I just wanted the dies. And this is the one I settled on just because I kind of liked the flowy part of the leaves. Now I ran my sentiments through a Xyron sticker maker. You probably saw that. Anything that fit. Only one of the greetings did not fit, and that's just a little note to say thanks. I have the Xyron sticker maker. It's thin and small. I didn't want to smash up my sentiment, so I will hide liquid adhesive back behind the white embossed parts. Now for the leaves, I actually wanted them to have a little movement, like to not be secured. I probably could have run them through the Xyron sticker maker, honestly, but I didn't. So I'm just putting a little dot of glue under different sections, and wherever that glue is where I'm going to put a flower. So I was pretty aware of where am I going to add a flower to these? That's where I'm going to add a leaf. All of the little leafy branches are going to be tucked around the sentiment, and then there's going to have little flowers flowing from that. That was kind of my plan here. I'm going to continue to add adhesive to the back and start gluing all of these in place, and I'm just going to speed up the video a little bit since it's a lot of repetition. So my best tip for this is I had a little dish to contain the flowers. They are super teeny tiny. The die that die cuts them die cuts 8 at a time. I started by die cutting, I want to say each of these twice, but I ended up having to stamp die cut all of them a third time, 3 or 4. I wanted plenty of flowers, and I wanted to be able to add plenty of flowers to each. I did not do each of them exactly the same. I just randomly would grab flowers and place them down. The flower colors I used are Simon Says Stamp Lipstick Red, Lawn Fawn Guava, Lawn Fawn Sunflower, and Hero Arts Papaya cardstock. So those are cardstocks used directly from the background. If you want to know the rest of the cardstock colors I used, they are listed in the description down below the video here on YouTube. I believe we've got Hero Arts Ballet Slippers, Lawn Fawn Apricot, Lawn Fawn Cilantro, Hero Arts Meadow, I want to say Simon Says Stamp Sea Glass, I think that's correct, and Lawn Fawn Peacock. Those are the other colors I used. Now to finish off my flowers and to kind of incorporate a little more white into the spread to match the feel, after I have adhered these all down, and you'll see I really kind of had a process. I would glue down the sentiment and the leaves and place an acrylic block on top to help hold it down and hold it flat. And then once that kind of dried, I would add the flowers and again, use my acrylic block to hold it flat. And then I would go in with Nuvo crystal drops in white. I'm using gloss white. It's my absolute favorite white. Simply white, I'm so sorry. Gloss Simply White. And I would add little dots to the center of the flowers, and it instantly made a huge difference in the finished look of the flowers. I set all of them out to dry. I will say it's a very tiny drop. It probably doesn't need that long to dry. I let mine dry for a good 24 hours, maybe more. They actually sat out for maybe a day and a half, which normally wouldn't happen, but I just wasn't in my studio. And I had them all set out on my drawer units on top of them, just drying, so I didn't have to worry, that they got smashed or anything. And I love the finished look. You could also use small gemstones if you have them, or teeny tiny sequins. The flowers are just so small. I thought Nuvo crystal drops was really a great way to go. Stickles would probably also work great. The only thing here is my goal was to not add glitter. I didn't want anything glittery or glitzy. I just kind of wanted it to be more a little bit simplistic, I guess, if you will. So I used both leaves. So there's kind of a large and a small on each. I die cut those 10 times, and then the flowers. So just a fun way to mix and match a whole bunch of supplies. Again, some brand new products, and then some older products. You guys know I love mixing and matching both, and so I really love how this turned out. Little dabs of glue all over, and then just popping in our flowers. An embellishment wand comes in so handy. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this set of 10 thank you cards featuring Mama Elephant stamps and dies. The supplies I used to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring Mama Elephant products that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my Patreon members. We are almost at 100 and I am so grateful for all of you. If you would like to become a Patreon member and join us over there in our community, I would love to have you. We would love to have you. And please click the link down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.